Today I'm talking with Soumya. Interesting how how all this started. It started out with basically chatting, and then we're talking about business analysis, and like everybody's a business analyst, really. Everyone is a business analyst. So Soumya, thank you for joining us today. So can you please introduce yourself to this beautiful audience around the world?
All right, great. First of all, as a title says, everybody is a business analyst. I believe in it, right? That's why I say it, because when we perform business analysis, it's just nothing but talking to people and making sure their needs have been met in a right way. As simple as that. I never wanted to become a BA. I think I told you earlier. I'm an accidental business analyst.
Yes.
The reason I say accidental business analyst, now I was. My career graph is different, right? So right after my engineering days, I want to get into movies. I want to write for some of the directors back in where I'm from. I'm originally from India. So now I want to work with some directors and write some stuff. But later into that, in 6 months, I realized, that's not my place to park my car. So I want to come out of it, and I want to do something different than what my classmates or what my colleagues were doing. And again, like I said, I was not a typical developer. I did not have the technology expertise when I first started, like back in 2006 and 7. Then I thought, what is that one thing I can do? I'm keep exploring opportunities. Then a good friend of mine suggested, Soumya, you can be a good analyst. So the only question I asked her is, what do analysts do? She said the same thing what I told you. They write and they talk. I was like, yes, that is a job for me. So I went for an interview. I was fortunate enough. My very first interview I have ever given in my life was with a firm called Countrywide Financial Corporation. Later, Bank of America acquired back in 2008, and we changed the name to Bank of America Home Loans. So that's how my journey started.
You made it so simple that anyone feels okay. Is it just so as a BA, I just have to write and talk? Right, I'll be able to write and talk
with a clause that you learn the business acumen in the right way.
Yeah. So when you have the business acumen, really understanding, what are the key drivers for the business, internally and externally, what influences the business, who are our competitors, who are our suppliers, what are our core value add, all those things. When it comes to the technical part of things, that's what scares a lot of people. You see some job descriptions these days, and you look at it and you're like, wow, how many people are they looking for in one person? In regards to the technical things that companies are looking for right now. So, how would anyone who has that analytical skill, the person can read and write and do all this basic stuff and speak to people, how do they pass that those technical barriers basically that that have been put there, knowing that I'm not technical?
Again, it's all based on the experience. No one is actually hiring exclusively a technical person, and if you really ask me, you will see a variety of roles out in the market, right? You could see a business analyst. At the same time, you will see another designation right after that as a business systems analyst, not techno-functional analyst. At times, people call you as a requirements engineer, or at times they call you as a requirements analyst, right? So these are all the fancy titles enterprises will give you. But one thing I want you to understand here is, what is your skill set, and how can you contribute towards the enterprise scope? Right? If your skill set is business analysis, which means your requirement solicitation, documentation, and making sure that your testing teams are understanding those requirements and you have the right baseline documents in time, right? Similar way, requirements engineer does the same thing. A techno-functional analyst, this is where I want to emphasize a little bit on. And to answer your question, yes, technology is important, but technology is not everything. Yeah, it is important if you know SQL, or if you know a specific product, or if you know a variety of skill set, right? That is what will give you that 1% or the 10% edge when compared to the other people, if your future employer is looking for that skill set. If they're exclusively looking for a business analyst, who can understand. If you see most of the requirements, people will never ask you mandatorily you need to have. You have to have, certainly, yes, mandatory skill sets are your business analysis experience, but good to have is if you are a tech savvy, good to have if you know SQL, good to have if you know data governance, right?
Yeah.
So these are all the things, these are the additional attributes to you. But irrespective of that, you can learn, you can build your base using the business analysis skill set, and then on top of it you learn anything, whether it is a governance or whether it is privacy or whether it is service management or whether it is content management or Salesforce or any CRM products, right? There are a variety of applications. Now, one question you always have to ask yourself is, do I have the right skill set, and what am I going to analyze? And if you don't know what you're going to analyze, there's a problem too, right? So we
Yeah.
will address that problem at the beginning, and
Yeah.
you're good to go.
So what if I'm a technical person, right?
Mhm.
I've been technical all my life. I'm, that guy who's always, my head is, inside the black screen for a lot of years. And I want to become a business analyst. I want to move out of being the tech guy to being the business analyst. I like what business analysts do. I kind of envy what they do because I
Right.
work with my projects. How can I move away from being that technical guy to actually being the business analyst and really speaking the business terms as well?
Now, the transformation always happens, and it's always bi-directional. You're a functional resource. You can learn the technical expertise, and you can become a techno-functional guy. Vice
Yeah.
versa, you are in the technical role. You've been forever as a SQL developer or some XYZ developer, or whatever the technology platform you're working on. And over the period of time, you've been having those discussions with your analysts and with your business partners. You're trying to acquire and learning that business acumen, right? So that's what will give you the edge. And at the same time, remember, whether a functional guy becomes a technical, vice versa, a technical resource becomes a functional, we will still call you as a techno-functional.
Yeah.
Right? So the agenda is going to be the same, but now you are in a less dependent state wherein there are certain answers. For example, as an analyst, as a pure business analyst, as a pure techno-functional analyst, right? So how it helps enterprises, or why they prefer, if given an opportunity, to hire a techno-functional guy with solid business analysis background. Let's assume I'm in a discussion, having a conversation with one of my business stakeholders, and then they have a specific set of requirements. And if you're all pretty much aware of agile and the way we function in the iterative way, right? Kind of a rapid development we try to deliver. In this rapid, incremental fashion, when you're trying to deliver the solutions, you have a business team or a stakeholder. They wanted to come in and they want to change the scope of it.
Yeah.
The first question we ask is, hey, can I first of all address that particular scope? Answer is yes. Yes, you can certainly go ahead and address it. Now, the second question is how, right? Now, if they started asking you questions, say, Samya, these are the requirements. Do you know how much time it's going to take? Are there any technical challenges? If I'm a pure analyst, I might not be able to answer that. I would say, well, you know what, let me defer to that. Or let me bring in my technical resource. Let them comment on that question, even though it's a quick answer, right? But if I'm a techno-functional guy, I'm pretty sure I will have that answer at that particular moment. Now, you might not feel the difference, but from an enterprise point of view, your time is directly proportional to money.
Early in your career, what were the things that helped you? You're an accidental business analyst. You were given that opportunity, the first time you went for that interview. So, and that was years ago. So what were the things that really helped you? Now, I know you used to write, so you're good with documentation, and you like to speak to people. So you had those two skills already. But what are some other things that really helped you grow in your career?
There are a variety of things, right? Of course, writing and talking to the people gives you a broader perspective. But at the same time, the other skill sets, what I personally feel a good business analyst should have is one, the time management and the allocation, right? For example, when I was started, right, I was like super excited. Oh wow, this is great, right? I'm doing something, and based on my kind of work, there's a lot of delivery happening. Now, I used to say yes to people a lot, and then I within a year I realized the problem in me is saying yes.
Yeah.
You need to learn when to say no,
No.
and then keep those short-term goals to try to achieve it. And the
Yeah.
reason I say the yes and no is at times without we knowing it, we overflow the work. We try to accept the additional work on our shoulders. So, but you certainly have to learn at some stage, and when that is not your specific skill set. Now,
Yeah.
because you're focusing on one specific area, make sure that we are delivering it in a right fashion.
So I want to move into a business analyst role, right?
Right.
But I've never just had that title, business analyst.
Mm-hmm.
That title was business title of my role has never been business analyst at XYZ company. What do I do? How do I move into the business analyst role without having that title?
It's not about the title, you don't have it. It is all about the role you are having it. Now, if you are a waiter, if there is a customer in your restaurant, the first thing you do is, do you want cold water or do you want ice water or you want a bottled water? Is that the first question you ask? Right? I mean, if I'm a waiter, if I'm ever be in a service industry,
Yeah.
if I have a customer, that's the first question I ask when they come in. And then I try to take an order. It doesn't mean that I'm going to go back into the kitchen, cook the same, and bring it back to them. Nope. I only take an order, but I pass it to my chef or to my kitchen.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. That's where your business analysis skill sets comes into the picture, wherein
Yes.
you are the middle person, right? You are liaising between your customer and your kitchen. Now connect the same thing into your IT. You are
Yeah.
going to liaison between your business and your technology stakeholders. How you do it is what your business analysis skill set is all about. That's why I always tell people, keep it simple.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep it very simple, because this is the line of profession where I feel, if you are a starter or even though you're a practicing analyst, there's always opportunity and scope for someone to learn and get into the next stage.
So let's talk about specialization. I'm a business analyst, but I know that I want to specialize. How can I know what would be best? Like, what's the right skill set for me? I've done several types of projects. How do I know what kind of specialization I should have as a business analyst? How do I go about it?
It is subjective. Now you can start from a variety of places. You can start from starting somewhere. Now, at times you can be a junior BA, and
Yeah.
from there you learn the analysis. You're supporting your BA managers, probably in facilitating some discussions or writing some requirements or being part of a UAT sessions, etc. But
Yeah.
over a period of time, what happens? There's one good thing as a business analyst. You will never do, or your day will never be the same for a week,
For sure.
right? For, for a specific sprint, if you take it,
Yeah,
every day is different, right?
every day is different. That's why I love it.
That's something new you'll always learn. Now,
Yeah.
when going back to your questions on what sort of specialization you needed, it is
Yeah.
purely based on a business decision,
Yeah.
because learning business analysis skill set, or it's all about presentation, right? Now, I'm able to talk in front of you in the business analysis skill set because I've been practicing it for a little over a decade. And then
Yeah.
I know what we do as a BA. At one stage, you have done a similar role. Now, what you have to do is present it out and
Yes.
then learn on a daily basis. Have your own running notes. That's what
Yeah.
I tell people. Always document something new you will learn. But over a period of time, what happens? All your running notes becomes your own knowledge base,
Mm.
right? That's how you build things.
So moving into data and data governance. For someone who is interested in this path of data
Mhm.
governance, data management, and all that, how can I move into this path? Do I have to be like a data analyst first before I can be a data governance professional? Because I know you sit on the board right now, as an advisor on the board. So how can I move into this field?
You have to have that love with data, right?
Yeah.
When you understand it, so there's a difference between the information you gather and the intelligence you build out of that information. If someone can understand that, now I have a lot of data with me, but what do I do with it? Can
Yeah.
I build some information out of it and then have some intelligent decisions out of that information I have? The answer is yes. If you have that mindset, if you think I see some value in the data space, whether you can be a data analyst, but again, one thing for us to understand here, right? A business analyst and a data analyst, both are analysts.
Of course.
You are engaging your business partners, performing a variety of activities, and your data analysts are doing a similar things, but in the technology front,
Sure.
right? Might be working with the databases or with some physical dictionaries, cataloging or bringing in a lot of data in, and then playing around with that info. Two different things altogether. But
Yeah.
if you think at one stage the love towards the data has happened in your career, then you will start looking at the broader picture.
Modeling skills. Are modeling skills key skills for people?
Yes, modeling skills are important. Now, modeling comes at a variety of stages, right?
Yes.
Whether, for example, if you all heard about the good old concepts of UML, right? So we used to call it unified modeling language. So language which enables you to speak with your technical stakeholders in a visual format,
Yeah.
right? Now think about it. Over the period of time, it transitioned into a variety of things. If you really go and ask the analyst today, have you ever modeled a class diagram or a use case diagram or any other diagram? Their answer is, heard about use cases, but I wrote use cases. I never modeled a use case. So for me, if you really ask me, it's all about process. Have a good process flow and let the process flow speak the entire thing.
Tell me, what would be your kind of message for people, before we leave, with regards to, everybody being a business analyst?
So my final thoughts are pretty simple. If you are seeking a career and you would want some adrenaline in it, some excitement you want on a daily basis, and something you want to do, you have to love your profession, right? So that's what business analysis is. And I know, most of you are in good hands with but at the same time, like as I mentioned earlier, you already have that skill set. It's just that you just need to come out, start talking about your skill set in a right fashion. Learn that the way you have to present yourself. That's the key to be a successful business analyst.